Hi friends and fellow intuitive academics, my name is Shelly and I draw from my intuition and my lived experience as a PhD to offer you guidance on your academic journey. So this reading is a pick a card reading and it's the end of the year and I wanted to kind of draw in that energy of transitions. So I want to do a reading to help guide you with a message from the universe as we transition from 2013 to 2014. It's a little bit open. What does the universe have to tell you an encouragement or guidance as we make this transition for your specific situation? So I'm going to select 3 cards to make 3 piles that you can choose from. And so you'll just draw on your own intuition in partnership with my intuition to determine what's the pile that's going to be for you. So I've got our 3 piles here. And so the first pile will be the krampus. Oh, so this is the devil card. So if any of you are experiencing or feeling a draw to this devil energy, that will be your pile. The next card is the 9 of canes, which is the 9 of swords. And this is mostly like a worry, staying late up at night kind of energy. So a lot of heavy energy is coming through. Maybe the universe has something to ease your worries in the message. And then the last group will be the Queen of Good Cheer, which is the Queen of Cups, which is all about leading from the heart, balanced emotions, communicating in a thoughtful, emotive way, kind of also maybe like a mothering empress kind of energy encompassed in this. And then you see a crystal ball here, something to do with drawing from intuition as well, the full moon. So I'm actually going to match some crystals to the 3 choices, and maybe that will help you make your decision of what pile you want to continue the reading with. But also, if you feel like you're being drawn to 2 piles or all 3 piles, just trust that as well. So I'm kind of feeling this goes here, this goes there, and I'm torn between these 2. I'm gonna go with this here. So if any of these crystal colors stand out to you or speak to you, give you a bit of a closer look, that can help kind of guide you on which pile to choose, which message is yours. Okay, so I will post these in the chapters below. First chapter is the Krampus, the second chapter is 9 of Canes, and the last chapter is Queen of Good Cheers. And I'll see you in one, if not all of those, next. Hi, Krampus pile. So let's get into your message of what the universe has to tell you as you transition from 2023 to 2024. So I feel like this transition is the most important kind of experience of the new year. A lot of times we like to think of like, okay, it's 2023 is over, 2024 begin, but there's actually a period of transition that can be short or long depending on what you're transitioning. That's important to pay attention to. So that's what I wanted to bring to the reading. And so you have selected the Krampus card, which is an interesting depiction of the card that's usually in the place of the devil. So the devil typically represents addictions or bondage to something of your own doing. It doesn't necessarily represent an actual devil, if you believe in that, or evil spirits in your life. It's more of our own kind of habits or destructive behaviors towards ourselves that we can find release from if we work towards it. And so when the devil appears, it's usually an alert that we're doing something harmful to ourselves, that we need to be the instigators of alleviating that. And with that, you pick this crystal, which is actually holding the solar plexus chakra, which represents like self, power, strength, self-esteem. So a lot of the ego, like the self-identity, is in the solar plexus chakra. And so that's going to also play into our reading today. So you could already see possibly some themes coming through with the self, the ego, the devil, probably in this ego aspect with the chakra. I was reading on the specific use or depiction of the card in this Yuletide deck. And so the Krampus has appeared in pre-Christian mythology, I guess you would say. And it represents kind of the shadow side of this time of good cheer, almost like the counterpart to Santa Claus. So instead of, or St. Nicholas, instead of bringing out rewards and gifts to good children, he kind of brings about punishment to those who have brought that down on themselves. And so the major kind of morals behind the Krampus stories is to act in moderation and to be accountable for your behaviors, be conscious of the consequences or the actions and reactions of what you do. And then there's also the reminder that winter isn't all good cheer and fun. There are some real survival dangers that our ancestors had to go through during this time. And so it kind of brings us into that scope of thinking about, amid all the celebrations and the good cheer, there are some harsh realities that play into your specific transition. There is something to do with the ego and your self esteem, your sense of power or helplessness that's at play here. So we're going to go to the cards and get more clarification on, from the central energy, what's the message that we can give to this Krampus pile as they transition from 2023 to 2024. What's something to bring with them in that transition to help guide them on whatever they're going through at this time in their lives? So we start off with the 10 of Canes, which is the 10 of Swords in the reverse position. This is actually really good. So this I'll give you a better look. This looks like a very dire image here, and it kind of is, but as you see, the new dawn's breaking behind, and especially because you've received it in the reverse, it means that you've got a lot of pain. A lot of it has accumulated here. You're at your wit's end, basically, but this really is like rock bottom. This is the end, and this is such kind of like a good card to receive with the Devil card, because especially when you think of, let's go with the addictions reading, if you're addicted to something, you do need to hit rock bottom before you realize that something needs to change in your life, and you need to be the one to change it. And if you look at the snowman, it's almost like they're seeing the world from a different place at the rock bottom. They realize from this perspective their way out, and also that they need to find a way out. So this is great news coming for you in this reading, in your transition. It means that yes, you're going through something very difficult, and yes, you do have a hand in why that's happening to you, but you do have the means and you do have the power. And coming back to here, the idea of power over the self, to make the change that you need to. You next get the Ten of Gifts, which is wonderful. It's the Ten of Pentacles. However, you have it in the reverse position. And so I'm reading this as something wrong in the family, something that's hurting you in the family, and that's playing into everything here. And again, this is an academic channel, so I'm going to try to interpret this as best I can into your academic journey, but it does happen sometimes that, of course, our personal lives play into our academic lives, and it seems like that's going to be the case in your reading. So I'm going to leave that there for now, come back to it as we get more information. And now you also have the Five of Good Cheer, which is the Five of Cups. So this is, yeah, a very kind of disheartening kind of feeling. You're looking at the cups that you've lost, but you're fully forgetting the golden goblets behind you and your cat that you still have. So it's a message of too much focus on what has been lost, too much grief cloaking you over that loss, and forgetting kind of the bigger goal, or the memories of what is still in your life, what is still kind of there, either in the past or the present, or the main message is it's there in the present and your future and your past. This is the rainbow from the Ten of Cups, which is like a love attainment, like the fullest attainment of the love, the Cups cards. So there's a little bit about feeling lost and unsure what to do with the grief you're experiencing, possibly in a family matters, and with the burdens that you're carrying, or the self-destructive behaviors or addictions that you're carrying. And then you have the Four of Gifts, which is the Four of Pentacles, and that's all about security and holding on, like basically like saving your resources, holding on to them, being smart about them, and building something. So I'm going to say what I see here from your academic journey and the transition that's happening from 2023 to 2024 is you've got a lot going on with financial stability and family situations that are playing into that. And so as you're going through your studies, you're walking the line of financial stability for your own education, but also it looks to me that you have responsibilities to loved ones that are at play as well, and you're kind of left I want to say heartbroken or feeling downtrodden in the midst of this, when actually, like, you're performing very well, you're doing very well, you're very responsible. And it's kind of like, I want to say that you can't please everyone, but you're trying to please everyone, and it's just not going to be possible. And this is affecting your academic journey, because that journey is ultimately something at some point that you have to do for yourself. And a lot of people might feel second choice to that choice. And that's a very difficult line to walk. And I feel for you on this. But this is your message from the universe, that that's actually kind of, there's a bit of the psychological shadow going on here that you can release. You have it within you to release, because that will release you from this burden of trying to please everyone in an impossible situation, when you're doing absolutely great. You're doing the best you can, and that's enough. And you're kind of holding yourself to the standard where some things go wrong, that's all you can see. You're doing a lot right, and it's really for the best, as you know deep in your heart it to be. So this can be very stressful around the holiday seasons when you feel kind of extra burden to be successful, you know, with the multiple gifts, to create this warm, festive family memories. That's not always possible every year, and that's not your fault. And you need a little bit of like self-forgiveness over that, and recognition that it's temporary as well. To rid yourself, you kind of have to exercise this internal demon, this maybe like a perfectionist pressure on yourself, to regain your sense of power and your self-esteem. Because I see this this degree is very tied up in your own self-worth, and then also in your standing in your family. You want to do this for your family as well. That's a big factor in here. And it's a very rough time for you right now as you're going through the trenches of this, trying to balance family life with your academic life, feeling maybe selfish in there as well, making those choices, feeling guilt. These are all, each of these are canes that are like swords in your back, that you're bringing yourself down with these thoughts. The guilt, the financial pressure, feeling like a failure, self-doubt, you know, these are each of the swords, the canes that are pushing you down to the point where you realize this is too heavy a burden for one person. You find another way out. So I want to pull some cards that will help you see what that way out is. And I've already kind of said, we know through the devil that you pull yourself out. You realize that this needs to end, and the first step is acknowledging that you need a change, and then figuring out what that change will look like. But let's see if the cards can help us determine that a bit better. So we have the Fox and Ivy with adaptability. And you have the Wild One. Oh, this is interesting. So I need to look this one up, but the Wild One I know is all about freeing the inner self, kind of freeing yourself from your own bonds, which goes very well with the Krampus card, and just being you and valuing you and showing it to the world. Even if it's just you dancing alone at night, you're doing it for yourself. Let me just first get more information on both of these to see if that will help guide you out of this letting go of all the burdens and self-destructive kind of psychological carrying of those burdens. It's not serving you. So the Fox and the Ivy. Adaptability. Foxes are cunning, quick thinking, and clever. When paired with ivy, a hardy plant that flourishes even in harsh environments, the fox reminds us to apply our cleverness towards adaptability. Allow the fox's ingenuity to guide you. Nimbleness and adaptability will suit you well on your endeavors. Do you feel stuck? Here's something to reflect on. Do I feel stuck? How can I adapt to changes in my life? So you want to bring this sense of adaptability to your situation. You're in a sticky situation, I will say. And if you kind of go with the flow, adapt to what is instead of wishing what should be, it's going to be easier for you to navigate this. And again, adaptability, think of this as seasons. It's temporary. So living in the fall is going to look like different than living in the winter, than living in the summer, and just adapt to those different transitions, those seasons as you go. So that is a message that this is very intense for you. A change needs to happen, but it is temporary, and and using the resources around you that you can to get through it is what's going to serve you. There is no perfect, you know. Just look around you and you'll find a wealth of resources already. Let me also revisit the wild one and see what message can be in there for you. So the wild one says, I claim my full expression. The wild one is uninhibited, unencumbered, and weightless without the judgments and expectations of others anchoring her down. The chains that bind fall away and freedom is fully expressed. Yeah, and you can see, I was reading that the chains that this boy has here are kind of chains of his own doing. And so here you have the chains falling away by your own doing as well, rising from the flames to become your full expression of yourself. Truth is the guiding star here. So speak the truth if you're in a situation that's uncomfortable. Speak the truth to yourself about what you need and what's not serving you. Speak the truth to your family about the same things. And then speak your truth to possibly anyone who's helping you on your academic journey, your institution. If you need help, ask for help. With this internal compass, forward motion is propelled by a desire for authenticity and determination to claim what is most true and real. Yeah, and there's a lot about deep down inside, something's been locked away. And the journal prompt says, what do I need to release in order to more fully embrace my truest self? So there's something that you've locked away within yourself that needs to come out. And this is kind of coming back again also to that solar plexus of ego and self. And that's going to serve you here. Become your full self. Claim what that self needs, because it's being ignored right now to your own detriment. And this is a huge transition, and it seems like now's the time to get this underway, because you can't take anymore. You're overburdened. And I'm wishing you so much light and love on this. I know you can do this, and you just need to take that first step and take each step with love, most of all for yourself, because you're going to bloom and blossom from this through the winter season and into the next seasons. You'll see the changes happening. So sending you lots of light again. Continue to work with love, my dear intuitive academic. And if this reading resonated with you, please like. I would love for you to subscribe and see you here again. You can share your story in the comments, and I will definitely see you next time. Hi again, Krampus pile. I just walked away after doing your reading to do a little bit of dishes, and I had the realization that I wanted to include another message here, which seems to tie everything together, about establishing healthy boundaries. So that would be around people that you're closest to, people in your life that you that's a little bit hard to say no to establish those boundaries. That's really going to serve you here. That really comes together with this ego and the wild one, just valuing yourself and your own space and your own boundaries, but then also establishing healthy boundaries with yourself and the negative self-talk, the shadow side to your psyche kind of taking over. So I would say also carry the theme of healthy boundaries into next year as you go through that transition. So again, sending you lots of love and light, and hoping that you continue to work with love in your journey, especially love for yourself. All right, take care. Hi, Nine of Canes pile. So we are going to ask the universe to send you a message to help guide you on whatever you're dealing with as we transition from 2023 to 2024. So I like to think of the transition as being actually a lot longer than just that New Year's moment where we're like, okay, goodbye, 2023 is done. Welcome 2024. Too many 20s. there's a lot that goes into the transition, whether it is just that one night for you, or it's a few weeks or a couple months. I feel like I personally I'm already kind of like been thinking about what 2024 will hold, what's filling up my schedule, what my life will be like for the past month or two already. And I'm sure that's going to continue up until the end of January and February as well. So that is all like a 4 month gradual transition that I'm making mentally. So I just want to kind of expand on our ideas of what this transition to the new year might look like, how much time that might take, and what's kind of important during that transitory time for you specifically. So you were drawn to the Nine of Canes pile, which is the Nine of Swords in most other decks. And this is a card of anxiety and worry, stuff that keeps you up at night. You see a lot of nervous energy as this man is gnawing on his pen and either trying to make a to-do list that's just not going right and he keeps ripping it up, or trying to find the words to talk to say the right words to someone about something important. And I just noticed there is another person laying here happily asleep while he's not. And so it's a very isolating kind of feeling, right? Being up at night with worry. And then, so you also were drawn to this blue crystal, which carries the throat chakra on it. And so something to do with the voice, speaking, communicating is going to be important in your message as well. So we're going to get some more guidance on this first before we go any further. I mean, we could see plainly that you've got a lot on your mind and you're going to need guidance on that specifically. So let's look a little bit more detail what the universe wants to guide you toward as you make this transition from 2023 to 2024. So the first card we have is the Ten of Good Cheer, and it's in reverse. So the Ten of Good Cheer is the Ten of Cups, and you can see a typical kind of Ten of Cups image of a happy family, presumably parents, couple in love, reminiscent of the Two of Cups, finding a partnership and union, but it's expanded into, it's multiplying in happiness and love. And that's wonderful this time of year especially, but it is in reverse. So there's something complicated happening for you to do with, I will say, like generational love, family bonds, and of course, this is the time for those kinds of things to come up. Yeah, so I'll say that the people nearest and dearest to you are factoring into your worries and complications. I'm not sure yet that there's any like one instigator in this, or it's more like a situation that you're having to go through together, and it's very trying. Could be like an illness with one person and everyone kind of gathers around them for support, but everyone's experiencing that in their individual ways, which may be keeping you up at night. This is just for example. So it doesn't necessarily mean there's dysfunction in the family, though it could, but also that there's an external pressure on the family. And this is an academic reading, but I do incorporate you know, personal circumstances into that journey, because that's life, you know, that happens. So I will steer this more towards the academic advice as much as possible, but especially, you know, this time of year as we're transitioning, we're not in school, we're with our families, so this becomes part of the formula more during this time of year. So let's keep going. You next get the Six of Candles, which is the Six of Wands. And it's kind of throwing me off because I almost wanted to say it's the Six of Swords, which has a boat that people are taking to go on to like a better situation. But the Six of Candles is a celebration. It's also making me think of the Chariot card of like movement, whether it's physical or circumstantial. But this is a very positive, happy card. The Six of Wands. It's it's like a victory card, you can say, where, oh yes, this is where the movement comes in, where there's a person on horseback, kind of like, and people are applauding them, kind of like this parade, and they're getting recognition. They're kind of fulfilled in their achievements that are outwardly recognized. And so this is a very social thing as much as a personal thing, this sense of achievement or accomplishment or victory over something. So that's very positive. And so that might be indicating a turn in circumstance or a turn in how you're handling things. Let's keep going. So you next get the Three of Gifts in reverse. So the Three of Gifts is the Three of Pentacles, and this is all about putting in the work, but also getting the proper guidance for how to complete the work. And you're doing it all yourself, but you do have like a mentor involved. But it's in reverse, and I want to say there's something kind of delayed in the mentorship, in the guidance. Either you're like, maybe your mentor is on sabbatical and not communicating, or yeah, you're like waiting for the guidance and it's not really happening. This one I'm seeing more strongly related to your studies and your progress on your degree. So let me just get one more and see if the full picture comes in with that. So last you have the Nine of Good Cheer, which is the Nine of Cups. And that's a wonderful card. It's kind of like, you see this woman like kind of having a moment to herself. You can see that there was a lot of fun. Probably she hosted and she had plenty of friends over, and she was fully enjoying that bounty of being able to celebrate with good wine, good food, that bounty, but also the bounty of good friends, good cheer, people to celebrate with. And there's another celebration, I would say, that similar, a carryover from the energy of the Six of Candles. Okay, so let me see. So factoring back in the center energy of a certain anxiety or worry and trying to pen something with the voice chakra is very interesting. You're not finding the right words. I see you maybe kind of crafting an email. Possibly to your absent advisor or the institution, like your school or whatever, like maybe program that that's supposed to benefit you. You're trying to find the right words to ask for help from the institution because you have special circumstances within your personal life, like your family specifically, and you're juggling that. And let me just say, yes, you're absolutely deserving of this help, and you shouldn't feel less than as a student for needing it. If anything, the institution needs to learn how to step up more and take care of its students in diverse, varying kind of situations. And so I do see positive outcomes from finding the right words and penning this letter. It might be that you're doing this without guidance and you're a little nervous about that, but you have the power within you. You just need to let the voice shine. And this throat chakra is matching me to the sun here in the Six of Candles. And it's making me think of the Sun card, which is a lot of warmth and and joy and security, kind of summer vibes, relaxation. I feel like this is kind of hovering in the possible futures and just waiting for you to take action. And I see this as you at the end of the journey, kind of like celebrating, like, we did it, we made it, we got through that. It was all worth it because it all worked out in the end. And you're just having a moment to yourself, kind of reflecting on what an intense transition that was, but it's over now. Yeah, so I don't know if maybe you're possibly at the end of a transition and there's hope on the horizon, but it just feels like a lot. You're very soon going to be at this moment. Like, I want to say even like around the New Year's, because I see a lot of the signs of New Year's there. You know, you're going to be able to let this go and just let yourself, let it go. Ask for help. It doesn't need to be perfect words. You just need to ask and need to know that you deserve that help. I'm going to pull a couple of additional cards to see if there's guidance on how you can ask for help. And anything else that will help support you as you're, I would say, trying to balance everything that's going on in your life. But it's really interesting how you have reversal, upright, positive, reversal, upright, very positive. It's like the good with the bad. It's a bit of a roller coaster. And it's making you feel a little bit like chaotic, out of control. But the roller coaster does land. And you can see the remnants of the chaos, but on the good part of the chaos. So I just wanted to re-emphasize that for you, to ease your worries. But a little bit more guidance doesn't hurt. So you have the owl and hop. Ooh, wisdom. Interesting. Which I'm taking as draw from your own well of wisdom here. And then you also have waxing gibbous moon. So let me quickly look up these cards so I can give you some more definite ideas around what this means. So the owl and the hawk, wisdom. Owls are closely associated with Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom. Known for their nocturnal vision, owls represent knowledge and erudition with a hint of mystery. This is making me think of here the nocturnal vision, staying up late at night, trying to solve something. The hop is an impressive plant able to climb up to 20 feet in a single growing season. Combined, the pair indicates spiritual and intellectual fulfillment. You have come to the end of a long journey. Yeah, it's wonderful what we've been saying here. Relish in your achievement, taking deep, satisfying breaths. So yeah, I see your transition more clearly with this card as coming to the end of something very intense, and you navigated with wisdom and intellect, and this is something to be celebrated. You are at the end. This is your confirmation. Something to reflect on. Am I content? If I've reached a state of fulfillment, am I willing to humble myself and try something new? Yeah, so definitely as you transition away from feeling the end of something, you can open yourself up to something new as well. And I wonder if that's what this card is going to talk about as well. Let's see. So waxing gibbous moon, I am fully embodied. The waxing gibbous moon phase, which is just before the moon reaches its full brightness, is a moment of heightened energy and illumination. As you near the peak of your own energy, this is an invitation into a somatic experience, specifically an experience of what it's like to be in your sacred body right here and now. The physical container offers you never-ending wisdom and feedback for your growth. You are being asked to pause here in the midst of whatever may be swirling around you. Feel what a wonder it is to be in this body. Yeah, this is making me think of, as they said, right before the moon hits full, you're at that pitch where it's almost over, and this book is saying it's a moment of heightened energy and illumination. So kind of relish in it. You could see the end is near, and you have the lessons learned. You have that sense of fulfillment and accomplishment by getting yourself through it through your own wisdom. So there's nothing to fear, you know, if you're kind of worrying how long is this roller coaster going to go for. It's done. You're coming into port, and whatever you need to write or ask for, do it. You have the full support of the universe to ask for what you need at this moment, knowing, especially giving the strength of knowing that this is almost at an end, and that it doesn't do anything to your character. It's just a moment of need, a temporary moment of need. That's kind of the message that the universe wants to give you. Ask for help. It's just temporary. It's not a character that defines you. Let's see. The journal prompt here is, how would it feel to know I can fully trust my physical body? What could I do if I had this trust? So that word of trust sounds interesting in this whole context of trust how things will unfold for you. Trust in yourself that you've gotten this far. So if I could just put one conclusive message to this, it's that you are at the end of an intense transition, and that's important to kind of celebrate, reflect on, as much as starting to look ahead of making this be the past. Let the past be the past. Don't carry those worries into the future with you as you transition, because there's a lot of hope, there's a lot of lesson learned, wisdom gained through what happened, through the things you navigated. That was all a very important part of your character building. So anything that, if you feel kind of shameful or like in a lower status because of what you went through, just know that you're transiting out of that, and you don't need to feel that shame. And just drawing you back to the throat chakra, speak your truth. I almost want to link that back to trust. Speak your trust. Trust yourself and your own words and your communication. It's leading you in the right way. Use your voice however you need to use it to navigate this situation. And with that, I'm going to wish you a very happy new year, sending you lots of light as you complete this very trying circumstance that looks like you're ending. Wishing that you continue to work with love in the world and on your academic journey. If you liked this reading, please hit the like button and please subscribe. I would love to see you back here again. Or you could also share your story in the comments. And with that, I will see you next time. Hello, Queen of Good Cheer pile. So you were drawn to this card, the Queen of Good Cheer. And I'm sorry if it got a little bit dark, it's a little bit late, but it adds to the mood of the reading. I think especially for this pile, I was getting excited reading about the Queen of Good Cheer, which is the Queen of Cups, and the association of the card with empathy, intuition, psychic abilities. So this will all be about knowing and connection to kind of the unseen, connecting to your other senses. And so I'm seeing already that this is a very in tune, intuitive group of people watching this pile. And so I'm curious to see what the cards have to say about your advice on your transition period from 2023 to 2024. And so often I think we just throw away the previous year on New Year's Day and start anew without much reflection or thought. But that transition period between the 2 years can mean a lot of things to different people, and it might last a lot longer or shorter to different people, depending on what it means to you and what you're going through. So that's why I wanted to pull these 3 piles and ask for specific guidance from the universe for you on completing that transition or going through that transition between 2023 and 2024. One last thing, you were drawn to this clear white crystal, which actually has the crown chakra on it. So that ties in very well to intuition and knowing. This also is about thoughts and connection to are connecting on a more universal level, external to the body, knowledge that comes from more than just yourself, I would say. So there'll be something very interesting coming through here, I think. So we start with the King of Canes, and this is very much a mental space kind of card, and it's in the upright, so it's all about using thoughts to do something in the world, to rule a certain kind of domain. So you have mastery over your thoughts or intellect or knowledge in a specific area. No surprise there, since you are on this academic journey, and that's coming to play in your transition. We also have mistletoe. Oh, interesting. I want to say this is the Lover's card, but I'm going to have to look up what this means in the regular deck, because I'm not familiar. I haven't got this card yet. So it is relationship, attraction, and values. Yeah, taking the place of the Lovers in the traditional tarot. Mistletoe captures the enigmatic power of plants and midwinter traditions. Okay, so there's a bunch about the traditions, and this is about, of course, love and potential for love in a situation, but it might imply self-love is required, and the union of opposites within you. The mysterious hand reaching from above asks you to consider external forces that may well be impeding or interfering with the harmony required to balance the situation. And I know the Lover's card can also represent a choice to be made. So say, for example, if there's a choice between self-love and romantic love, that's something that you might have to decide in this transition. And this King of Canes might be the romantic interest. It could be an air sign. It could be definitely the adult age, maybe possibly older than you. Someone also maybe in this kind of academic line of work, an intellectual as well. And then you have the Lightning Tree reverse. So the Lightning Tree is the Tower card. And this is similar to the hand here, kind of like a divine intervention happening. And it's happening in reverse, so this can mean that you're not handling that very well, or you're resisting it, or you don't see it happening. It could be happening in the background, actually, is something that I'm getting here. As you're going about your life, something is changing in the background that affects the circumstances of your life directly. And then last, you get the Chariot reverse. So the Chariot is the little Santa Claus, so cute, making his deliveries on Christmas Eve. But it's in reverse, and Chariot is all about moving forward deftly, kind of navigating the horse that wants to go one way and the horse that wants to go another way, and you're kind of like navigating that well, navigating the rocky waters. But if it's in reverse, I would say in line with the Tower reverse, you're either not seeing how to navigate it, you're not seeing it happening, and so you're not aware of what you need to balance or navigate to go forward. Or it could be that you're resisting the change that's come in externally, and you're not sure where to go next. So this is very much a halt happening with the Chariot reverse. Okay, let me see how this all comes together. It's kind of interesting. I would say there's a lot of mystery at hand, and you're going to have to tap into your intuition, your gut feelings, to really know where to take this. This could definitely be like a budding romance that is coming in, that is shifting the situation, somehow shifting the balance. This could be how you're interpreting that romance, because you seem to be very focused and very achievement oriented, and you're on this very straight, like, fast path. You're typically on this fast chariot path to your goals, your career path, and then love came along and put everything to a halt. I would say, made you rethink things a little bit. And this is perfectly natural. And this is so funny because the other two piles also had personal stuff at play, even though this is an academic reading tarot channel. Personal, especially this time of year, comes into play because we're not in school, where we have time to give attention to our personal lives. So things happen. And it looks like possibly love is happening for you. And this is very beautiful. But you're not taking it very well. It's not part of the plan, I would say, for you. I might say you're a little bit of a type A personality, and falling in love was not part of the plan, and it's putting everything to a halt for you. So this is the big transition that's happening between 2023 and 2024. I think it's beautiful, and it's a blessing. And let's see what else the cards have to advise you on this transition. Okay, we have the owl and the hop. I feel like I want to take one more. And this one came up in the second pile, the nine of canes also. So you might find a good message there for you. And that says owl and the hop, wisdom, which ties in very well to what the central energy of your reading is. But I do feel like I want to take another one here. And you have the butterfly and snowdrop, hope. Oh, beautiful. There's a lot of hope in this. And then one from the sacred cycles, since we are talking about transitions and timings. So you have blue moon coming through. So the owl and hop and wisdom, I remember this card talked about Athena being associated with wisdom. And, oh, I'm forgetting already. Let me try to look at it again. Right, Athena associated with wisdom, known for nocturnal vision, knowledge and erudition with a hint of mystery. And the hop is able to climb 20 feet in a single season. The pair indicates spiritual and intellectual fulfillment. So this kind of speaks to me as the love is not knocking you off course. It's part of your path. You deserve spiritual, intellectual, and emotional fulfillment. The butterfly and snowdrop giving you hope. I want to say that this love breathes new life and meaning into your life instead of just being career oriented. Oh, I don't know if you heard that, but something dropped outside. So I'm going to take that as a point of emphasis on this love bringing you a lot of hope. It's not detrimental to your career. It's kind of like a wind that's going to keep you going the way you need to go. Okay, and rounding out your reading, we have 9 blue moon, which says, I am worthy of abundance. And I think that's so beautiful, kind of driving home that message that you can have it all. You can have the love, you can have the career. You're worthy of it. It's part of your path. It's part of your guidance to transition into a future that incorporates love. There are two perspectives on when a full moon is said to be a blue moon. You may choose to define it as the second full moon within an astrological season or as the second full moon within a calendar month. The blue moon accentuates the energies of a full moon. The blue moons open your eyes and bring into focus new levels of abundance you may have previously overlooked. It's as if your vision has expanded beyond the normal range, psychic, intuitive abilities of what human eyes can perceive. Life becomes a marvel of technicolor brilliance and awareness of energies, experiences, and awe. Sounds a lot like falling in love to me. From this place of wonder and insight, you can recognize with a clear head and heart how you not only have all you need, but also are blessed with excess to share. Nature can serve as a great reminder of this endless abundance and encourages your generosity. Look to the green world for guidance wherever resistance arises, and know that your offerings will always be returned to you amplified. Your journal prompt is, where in my life do I have more than I need? What can I share with others? And I want to kind of encourage you to share your love with others. This is the time for it. Life is going to look a lot different after this transition. Through this transition, it's a beautiful thing, full of hope, full of wisdom, and that is the message coming in for you as you transition from 2023 to 2024. So I hope you liked this reading. Please hit the like button if you did. Share a comment if you want to share your story below. Please subscribe. I would love to see you back here again. So with that, sending you lots of light and love. Happy New Year, and please continue to work with love, my dear fellow intuitive academic, and I'll see you again.